Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Oyster Aero Pearlcast. I am Jeff Yergi, and we have industry legend Aviv Tzur with us today. How are you, Aviv?
I'm great, Jeff. Thanks for having me.
Sure. So, as you know, we talk a little bit about the people on our podcast. So, a lot of people know you. So, can you just walk us through, your career, just kind of a history on that?
Absolutely. I always like to say that I got to aviation by chance. And once you're in aviation, that jet fuel in your veins, that's it. You're done. Once in aviation, always in aviation. So
Sure.
I worked full time and I went to college at night in New York for 5 years. And then when we decided to start a family, moved to South Florida, and I got my first job out of an ad in the newspaper, and got hired as a general manager of the company that did the custodial and maintenance work for Miami International Airport. So here I am, a 30-year-old running a company with 500 people, and
Jeez.
I really had to, learn everything from scratch because I knew nothing about custodial work. I knew nothing about maintenance at airports. So every day I walked 10 miles up and down the concourses. I hired industrial engineers that studied, traffic of people at certain bathrooms, that did the staffing accordingly. I mean, I overwhelmed Miami International Airport staff with all kind of charts, and but I mean, it made the operation better. So after a year there, I was hired by a guy who was later my mentor, Yoel Saraf at Professional Modification Services, which is everybody knew as PMS. And PMS did heavy maintenance, and we did 55 cargo conversions from passenger to cargo.
Yeah.
And so quickly learned the job there as well. And again, I did myself. I did AP, posting invoices. I went and worked in the stockroom. I worked at purchasing. I learned everything that was under me from the ground up. And this is a lesson I want to give other people as well, including friends of mine that, have kids that are coming into the business. If you want to do it right, start them at the stockroom.
Yeah.
And so, learned everything that had to be learned. We did some beautiful things there. I bought into the company in 97. In 98, we sold to a private equity group. I became the CEO. We grew the company from 300 people to 720 people, and built the largest heavy maintenance facility in Florida at the time, and really prospered. And in 2002, I left. I established AvBiz, was a platform to invest in aviation, to buy other companies. I sold my last company in 2011. There was a composite repair shop, and started the current business at AvBiz, which is consulting.
Sure.
So that's me in a nutshell.
And you're on the boards, like you're on the board of Century and some other companies, right?
Correct. Yes, I'm on the board of Sentry, a couple other things that I'm involved with, and I'm actually on a few non-for-profit boards. One of them is I'm the chairman of the Miami-Dade College Aviation School Advisory Committee. And
Sure.
Miami-Dade College, to those who don't know, is the largest university in the U.S. with over 165,000 students. I'm on a board of the Beacon Council, which is the economic development arm of Miami-Dade County. And of course, I am the president of the Greater Miami Aviation Association, which is my biggest focus these days.
Got it. We just need to slide you into Embry Riddle now too, and then you'll be you'll be complete. I'm just
Well,
kidding.
let me say something about Embry Riddle. So first of all, Embry-Riddle and some of their senior people have been part of our board of directors over the years. We support students from Embry-Riddle every year with scholarships.
Sure.
And I will give you just a little story that really exemplifies what it means for us to pay it forward. You had on a podcast a few months ago, Tyler Norman. Tyler has been very successful in our area with as far as the engines with his company. Tyler was a recipient of a GMAA scholarship back in 15 years ago.
Wow.
When he was struggling to graduate from Embry-Riddle. So fast forward 15 years later, we gave him a couple of years ago the Eddie Rickenbacker Award for the accomplishments that he's made with his company. So, I have another story about a young rocket engineer from Ukraine who came here as, she ran away from Ukraine and went to Embry-Riddle. We helped her with a few scholarships. She is now the head launch engineer for SpaceX.
Oh my gosh!
So,
wow.
stories like this are what makes it worthwhile for us to be involved with the GMAA.
That has to be so rewarding. So how many aviation companies are in South Florida? I mean, I've always heard some guesses, but you'd probably be the authority on it.
To my knowledge, and I probably know most of them, or there are new companies coming every day. But to my knowledge, there's about 600 aviation companies in and around the 305-954 area code. But I'll tell you a more astonishing statistics. In Miami-Dade County, 1 out of 4 jobs is related to aviation. Of course, the biggest driver is Miami International Airport, also Fort Lauderdale Airport. Last year, Miami International Airport was the #1 airport in the country for international cargo, the #2 in international passengers. 56 million people came through Miami International Airport. 35 million people came through Fort Lauderdale. So with all this, of course, there's so many aviation-related businesses. There's a deep history in South Florida with the aviation industry, starting with the mail service, Pan Am mail service from Miami Beach to Havana in 1927, and Eastern and Pan Am and Midway. I mean, the list is endless. So, yeah, we've always been a mecca to aviation.
Wow. So yeah, there has to be almost 1,000 easy. So you're in addition to your consulting and being on the college board, you run GMAA. How's that going?
It's going fantastic. It really is. We have an amazing board of directors of 20 very dedicated individuals who have no financial gain doing what they're doing. They're just passionate about, our 3 pillars, as we call it, of activities, which is, I like to call it IRS, inform and inform people. How do we inform people? We have monthly luncheons where we have very, very engaging speakers from all walks of the industry. We have the OEMs such as Boeing and Airbus and Embraer. We have airlines, including international airlines, who are coming to Miami and Fort Lauderdale. We have the airport senior personnel from both airports. We have MROs. We have distributors. We have, everybody that touches aviation could have a platform with the GMAA. We represent, that's the R. We represent, and how do we do this? We have connections to the local government as well as the Washington delegation. We cooperate with other aviation associations like IATA and others to help our local businesses. and the S stands for scholarships. And last year we gave 50 scholarships, $100,000 in scholarships to prospecting pilots, mechanics, control tower operators, managers. It's fantastic.
That's fantastic. Okay, so yeah, I mean GMAA, we certainly at Oyster would like to get involved more. We certainly work with many companies down there. I'm sure you've heard that before. Who knows? Maybe we'll have a satellite office there someday. Um,
Please.
yeah. So before we wrap it up, is there anything that you kind of want to touch on? We'll certainly get your next luncheons out. We'll try to help with awareness. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we call it a wrap?
Well, I mean, I think the only thing I wanted to add to your listeners is, you know, from my 35 years in the industry, we get to know who does it right and who does it wrong. And I wanted to say to your listeners, there's only one way to do it right, and that's, be straight, be honest, be loyal, be passionate, love what you do, and it will pay dividends. So and of course pay it forward. So I'm a big fan of your podcast. You've had amazing people on it. Some of actually Abdul Mulberry is a recipient of our Wright Brother Award, and so and of course I mentioned Tyler. So people like this who make it a habit to invest in the future of aviation are what makes our industry good.
Oh, that's wonderful. I mean, and we try to do that. I mean, we've actually removed a couple of bad actors from our platform, and it felt good just because we want people on it that shoot straight, as you say. So, all right,
Absolutely.
Aviv, thank you so much for this quick blip today. We hope you're well, and we're looking forward to seeing you at the next GMAA event.
My pleasure, and always onward and upward.
You got it. All right,
Thank
take
you.
care. Bye.
Bye.